How did my just friend turn into the reason I got served divorce papers in my office lobby? I thought my husband was trying to control me, so I kept pushing back in public. Then, one calm legal move hit me in front of co-workers, and I could not talk my way out of it. My name is Euphemia Calder, but everyone called me Effie because my real name sounded like a book someone never finished. I was 33, and I worked as an admin coordinator at a marketing firm. I said I kept the place running. I liked saying that. It made me feel important when I walked past the glass meeting rooms. That morning started like most mornings. The kitchen light was too bright. The kids were loud. The cereal spilled. Noah stood by the counter with his coffee, quiet and clean, like he always was. He was 35 and worked in IT, and he loved routines more than people. I used to think that was safe. Later, I started calling it cold. Mila asked for her hair to be fixed. I did it fast and tight because I was in a rush. Gavin knocked his cup over. Noah wiped it without a sound. Noah asked why I looked stressed. I said the day was busy and he should not add to it. He asked if I was still having lunch with Evan from work. I said it was not a big deal, and he was being weird. Noah did not raise his voice. He just watched me, like he was checking a screen for errors. He said Evan's texts came late and felt too personal. He asked why Evan called me after work. I told Noah he was making problems because he had nothing else to do. I said people were allowed to have friends. I said I was not his property. I knew that line worked. It always did. The moment I said it, his face changed. He looked like he wanted to explain, but he stopped. He glanced toward the kids, then back to me. He asked if I could set a boundary anyway, just to make him feel safe. I said that safety was his job, not mine. I said trust should be free, not earned every day like a paycheck. He asked what I meant by that. I said he should understand. I picked up my bag and acted like the conversation was already done. I kissed Mila on the head. I told Gavin I would see him later. Noah asked if we could talk again tonight. I said maybe, if he stayed calm. Outside, the air felt sharp and clean. The driveway was damp from last night's rain. Noah followed me to the car. He asked if I could at least tell him why Evan mattered so much. I said Evan did not matter, which was a lie, but I said it like a fact. I added that Noah's jealousy was making me pull away. I watched him take that in, and I felt a small win. In the car, my phone buzzed. Evan's name flashed on the screen. I did not pick up, not because I was loyal, but because I liked the power of waiting. Noah saw the screen. His jaw tightened, then relaxed. He asked if Evan knew we were married. I said of course he did, and Noah was insulting me by asking. Noah stepped back. He stood with his hands in his pockets, like he had nowhere to put them. I drove off and told myself he was dramatic. I told myself I was the normal one. At work, everything felt easier. The open plan office had that hum of keyboards and quiet gossip. People smiled at me. People needed me. When I walked past the desks, I heard my name. That gave me a rush that home never gave. Evan found me near the printer. He was 34, always neat, always ready with a small compliment. He asked if I looked tired. I said it was just my husband being intense again. Evan said Noah sounded insecure. I said Noah had always been that way. Evan asked if I wanted coffee. I said yes, because it made us look like a harmless pair. In the break room, Evan leaned close when he spoke. He asked if Noah still checked my phone. I said Noah did not check it, but he acted like he wanted to. Evan said I deserved trust and fun. I said I deserved respect too. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I liked how that sounded, like I was a strong person and not just a bored wife. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Noah. He asked how my morning was. I said fine. He asked if we could reset. and start fresh tonight. I said we could try if he did not accuse me again. He asked if I could come straight home after work. I said I would, unless something came up. After the call, Evan asked what Noah wanted. I said Noah wanted control, like always. Evan said I should not let anyone control me. I nodded, even though I knew Evan liked control too. He just dressed it up as care. Back at my desk, I opened my email and tried to focus, but my mind kept going back to Noah's face in the driveway. He looked tired, and for a second I felt a pinch of guilt. Then I remembered how small he made me feel when he asked questions. I told myself guilt was a trick people use to keep women quiet. Later, I walked past Noah's contact on my phone and noticed I had saved it plain, just his name. Evan's contact had a little star emoji. I told myself it was nothing. It was just a silly thing. Still, I kept it. That afternoon, I stepped into the copy room to grab paper. The printer made a soft sound and spit out a blank page. I stared at it too long, like it was a message. I laughed at myself and threw it away. Then I remembered Noah had been using the printer at home lately, late at night. I told myself he was just printing bills. I told myself he was not the type to plan anything. He was the type to talk, the type to worry, the type to wait for me to be kind again. When I got home, the house felt too quiet. The kids were playing in the living room, but the sound was low, like they were careful. Noah was at the table with his laptop open. The screen showed a spreadsheet with rows and numbers. I could not read the top because he tilted the screen away when I walked in. I asked what he was doing. He said he was sorting things. I asked what things. He said household stuff. I said he was acting secretive. He asked why I cared if I had nothing to hide. I did not like that. It sounded like my line, but cleaner. I put my bag down and went toward the drawer where we kept important papers. I pulled it open. It did not move. I pulled again. Still nothing. I heard a small click inside, like a lock catching. Noah watched me without moving. I asked since when we locked drawers in our own house. He said he needed to keep some items safe. I asked safe from who? He said safe from mistakes. I felt heat rise in my face. I said he was being dramatic and cruel. He asked if we could talk after the kids slept. I said maybe, if he stopped acting like a victim. Noah stood up and walked to the sink. He rinsed his mug and placed it on the left side, away from mine, like a line on the counter. Then his phone made a soft beep, a sound like an app starting. He did not touch it. He just looked at the screen and turned it face down. I watched him do that, and my stomach tightened, even though I still told myself I was right. The next day at work felt like a reset. At home, every look from Noah felt like a question. At work, people looked at me like I was a story they wanted to hear. I told myself that was normal. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong. I was just being seen. Evan found me near my desk before I even finished logging in. He asked if I was okay after yesterday. I said my husband had one of his moods. Evan said Noah sounded insecure. I said Noah had always been like that, just better at hiding it in the beginning. Evan asked if I wanted to grab lunch later. I said maybe, but I made my voice light, like it was not planned. All morning I stayed busy on purpose. I answered emails fast. I walked papers to managers in person. I liked being needed. Every time my phone vibrated, I felt a small spark. Sometimes it was Noah. Sometimes it was Evan. I told myself I did not choose between them. I told myself they were in different lanes, and I was just driving my life. Noah called around noon. He asked if we could talk calmly tonight. I said yes, as long as he did not accuse me. He asked if I could come home right after work. I said I would try. He asked what that meant. I said it meant I had responsibilities, and he should respect my job. After the call, I felt annoyed, like I had been interrupted. Evan noticed my face and asked what happened. I said Noah wanted to control my schedule. Evan asked if Noah ever trusted me. I said Noah trusted me when it was easy for him. Evan said I deserved a partner who did not doubt me. I said I knew. I said those things like they were facts. I did not say that part of me liked Noah's doubt because it proved I mattered. I did not say that part of me liked Evan because he never asked me to be better. Later, Mary texted me. She asked if I was coming to happy hour after work. I said yes right away. I did not check with Noah. I told myself I did not need permission. Mari sent a row of laughing emojis and said I should bring Evan because he was fun. I liked that she said that. I liked that she treated Evan like a prize and Noah like a boring rule. Around 3, Jordan from HR walked by my desk and asked if I could send an updated attendance sheet for my team. I said I would do it before the end of the day. I opened the system and glanced at my hours without thinking. The numbers looked normal. I told myself I was careful. Then I remembered last week, when I left early and still wrote late meeting in my notes. I shrugged it off. People did that all the time. At 5, the office started to thin out. Evan appeared again, like he had been waiting for the exact moment. He asked if I was still going out. I said yes. He asked if my husband would be upset. I said my husband was always upset about something. We met Mary and 2 other co-workers at a casual bar near the office. The lighting was warm and flattering. The music was not too loud, just loud enough to make normal talk feel like a secret. Mary hugged me and asked where my strict husband was. I said he was at home being serious. Mary rolled her eyes and said I needed a life. Evan bought the first round. I told myself that meant nothing. Still, I let him do it. A part of me liked the message it sent to everyone else, even if nobody said it out loud. Evan asked how my day was. I said it was better now. He asked if Noah ever smiled. I said Noah smiled when he wanted something. Mary laughed. The others laughed too, and I felt powerful. I checked my phone and saw a message from Noah asking when I would be home. I waited before answering. I told myself waiting was healthy. Then I wrote that I was wrapping up work and might be a bit late. It was not even true, but it sounded professional, like a good excuse. Mary lifted her phone for a picture. She asked everyone to squeeze in. Evan stood behind me, close enough that I felt his breath when he spoke. He asked if that was okay. I said it was fine and everyone was acting normal. Mary snapped the photo and immediately posted it. She tagged me. She tagged Evan. She added a caption about finally relaxing. I saw it on my screen and felt a rush. It was proof I existed outside my house. It was proof I was fun. I told myself Noah should want that for me. If he did not, that was his flaw. An hour later, Noah called again. I did not answer. Evan asked if it was him. I said yes, and I said Noah was being needy. Evan said I should not reward neediness. I liked hearing that. It made me feel smart, like I was teaching my husband a lesson. When I finally texted Noah back, I wrote that I was still at the office finishing something urgent. That was a clean lie. I told myself it was not a big lie because I was near the office. I told myself location was close enough. I did not think about timestamps or photos or anything like that. I thought only about winning the moment. As the night went on, Evan leaned in more. He asked if I ever felt lonely at home. I said yes. He asked if Noah ever made me feel wanted. I said not in the way I needed. Mari watched us with a smile that looked like approval. She wanted a story, and I was giving it to her. When we left, we walked to the parking garage. The air inside smelled like oil and cold cement. My heels clicked too loud. Evan asked if I wanted him to walk me to my car. I said yes, like it was polite. He asked if Noah tracked my location. I said no, but I said it fast. I got into my car and sat there with my hands on the steering wheel. My phone lit up again with a notification. Mary had posted another photo, and this time Evan's arm was clearly around my chair. People had already started liking it. Someone wrote a comment about us looking like a cute pair. I stared at that comment longer than I should have. I drove home and rehearsed my story. I told myself I would say it was a team thing. I told myself I would say Mari posted without asking. I told myself I would say Evan was friendly with everyone. I had answers ready before Noah even spoke. When I walked into the house, Noah was in the living room with the kids' toys lined up neatly, like he had cleaned in silence. He asked how work went. I said it was busy and I stayed late. He asked why Mari tagged me at a bar. I said Mari always exaggerated and he should not stalk my friends online. Noah asked why Evan was there too. I said he was a co-worker and I could not control who showed up. Noah asked why I told him I was at the office. I said I did not want to fight while I was out. I said I lied to keep peace. I said if he was calmer, I would not have to hide things. He looked at me for a long moment, then he nodded once like he was taking a note. He did not shout. He did not insult me. That almost made me angrier, because I wanted him to react the way my story needed. He picked up his phone, looked at the screen, and took one slow screenshot. Then he set the phone down, face down, like he did the night before. I watched his hands, and my skin went cold, even though I still told myself he was the problem. The rooftop bar was supposed to be harmless. That is what I told myself while I fixed my hair in the office bathroom and put on lipstick like armor. Mari had said it would be crowded, loud, and fun. She said I needed a night when nobody asked me questions. I liked that idea too much. Evan walked with me to the rideshare pickup area, but I did not let him call it a date. He asked if Noah knew where I was going. I said Noah did not need a map of my life. Evan said I looked tense. I said I was just tired of being treated like a suspect. Evan said a good husband would not act like a guard. I said I agreed. On the ride there, Mari sent voice notes. She said I should not bring my serious face. She said if Noah texted, I should ignore him for once. I answered with a laughing emoji because I wanted to look brave, even to my phone. The rooftop bar was bright with string lights and phone screens. The crowd was the kind that made you feel important just by standing in it. People leaned close to talk. People held drinks like props. Someone had a small ring light clipped to a purse, like life was always content. Mari met me at the entrance. She hugged me hard and asked if I finally escaped. I said I did. She asked if Noah was watching the kids. I said yes, and I said it like a victory. Mari said Noah could manage one night because he was the stable one. I did not correct her. I liked how that sounded, like I was the fun one by design and not by avoidance. Evan arrived 20 minutes later with 2 co-workers. He acted casual, but he stayed near me. He asked if I wanted a drink. I said yes. He asked if I felt better away from home. I said I always felt better when nobody tried to control me. Evan said he understood, like he had lived my life. I checked my phone and saw 2 messages from Noah. He asked what time I would be home. I did not answer right away. He asked if I could call before it got late. I waited longer. I told myself I was setting a boundary. I told myself I was teaching him to stop hovering. Mari pulled me toward a group near the railing. She introduced me like I was a celebrity. She told them I was carrying the marriage and still had to deal with a jealous husband. People laughed in that polite way that meant they were choosing a side. I smiled because I did not want to look weak. One woman asked if Noah was really that bad. I said he was not bad, just insecure. I said he acted like I could not have friends. I said I had a job and a life and he wanted me small. Those words came out smooth, like I had practiced. Evan nodded like he was impressed. After that, the attention grew. Mari kept feeding it. She asked me questions in front of everyone, like she was hosting a show. She asked if Noah read my messages. I said he acted like he wanted to. She asked if Noah ever accused me of things. I said yes, all the time. I left out the part where I lied. I left out the part where I was giving him reasons. Evan leaned in and asked if I was okay with the talk. I said it was fine, and people were just being honest. He put his hand lightly on my back when someone bumped into me. It was not a big touch, but it felt like a claim. I let it happen because it made me feel chosen. At some point, Mari lifted her phone and said she wanted a toast video. People crowded closer. Someone else lifted a phone too. Mari asked me what I wanted to say about freedom. I said I wanted respect. I said I wanted trust. I said I wanted a partner who did not punish me for being liked. People cheered. I felt my face heat with pride. Then Noah texted again. He asked if I was safe. He asked if I needed a ride. I rolled my eyes and showed Mari the screen. Mari asked why he was so intense. I said he liked to act like a hero. Mari said I should let him come and embarrass himself. That idea landed in my head and stayed there. I texted Noah and said I was fine, but he could pick me up if he wanted. I wrote it like a favor. I did not tell him it was a rooftop bar. I just sent the address. When Noah arrived, I saw him before he saw me. He stood near the entrance with his jacket zipped up, looking out of place in a crowd of shiny people. He scanned the room like he was searching for a lost child. He found me, and his eyes stopped. He walked over calmly. He asked if I was ready to go. I said not yet. He asked if I could step aside for a minute. I said he could talk here because I had nothing to hide. I said it loud enough for Mari to hear. Mari smirked like she had been waiting. Noah asked why Evan was so close. I said Evan was just standing there. Noah asked if Evan needed to be part of every event. I said Evan was my friend and Noah did not get to choose my friends. Evan asked Noah if everything was okay. Noah said yes, but he said it in a flat way that made Evan look like a guest and not a savior. Mari stepped in and asked Noah why he always acted like Effie was doing something wrong. Noah said he was not accusing, he was asking. Mari laughed and said questions were accusations when you asked them like that. Someone behind her giggled. I watched the crowd's faces. I saw curiosity, not concern. I liked that they were watching him, not me. Noah asked me again if I was ready to go. I said I was staying a little longer. Noah nodded once. He said he would go home, and he said he hoped I got back safe. That was it. No pleading, no anger. He turned and walked away. I wanted him to fight. I wanted him to say something sharp so I could cry and point. But he did not. The crowd reacted anyway. Mari said he was doing the silent treatment to punish me. I said he always did that. Evan said Noah was trying to control the mood. I agreed, even though Noah was already gone. I stayed another half hour just to prove I could. But the air felt different now. The lights seemed harsher. The music seemed dumb. I kept checking my phone, waiting for Noah to send another message. He did not. When I finally left, I took the metro because I did not want to pay for a rideshare, and I did not want to call Noah. The train car smelled like wet coats and metal. I sat by the window and watched my reflection shake in the glass. My phone buzzed. It was not Noah. It was an unknown number with no caller ID. I stared at it until it stopped. I told myself it was spam. I told myself it meant nothing. Then I saw Noah's name appear with a simple message asking if I was on my way. Before I could answer, I noticed he had sent it an hour earlier. I typed a reply and deleted it. I typed again. I finally wrote that I was coming home now. I added a smiley face like that could erase everything. As the train moved, my screen showed a notification that my message was delivered. When I walked into the house, the lights were low. The kids were asleep. Noah was not in our bedroom. I heard a soft sound from the other end of the hall, like a phone beep, then silence. In the kitchen, 2 mugs sat on opposite sides of the counter, clean and dry, like they were strangers. The family dinner was my idea, and I told myself it was a peace idea. I said we needed witnesses so Noah would behave. I said it like I was wise. The truth was simpler. I wanted an audience. I wanted the story to belong to me before Noah could speak. We met at a family restaurant with a long table and loud plates, the kind of place where people talked over each other and nobody noticed tears unless you made them big. Ruth and Derek were already there. Ruth looked calm, but her eyes were sharp. Derek nodded at me once, like he was saving his words. Talia came a little late. waving like everything was normal. Noah arrived with the kids. He carried Gavin on one hip and held Mila's hand with the other. He looked tired, but tidy. He asked if this place was okay for the kids. I said it was fine and he should stop worrying. Mila slid into her seat and started coloring on the kids' menu. Gavin reached for fries before they came. Ruth asked how work was going for me. I said it was busy and I was carrying a lot. Ruth asked if Noah was helping. I said Noah helped with tasks, but not with feelings. Noah looked down at his water glass. He did not correct me. That made it easy to keep going. I said Noah had been checking up on me. I said he got weird about my coworker, Evan. I said it was exhausting. I used my soft voice, the one that makes people think you are reasonable. Noah asked what I meant by checking up. I said he asked too many questions and it felt like pressure. Ruth asked if Evan was the same man from the tagged photos. I said yes, but I said it like it was no big deal. Ruth asked why a married woman needed a man like that around so much. I felt a sting. I said she was being unfair. I said I was allowed friends, and it was old-fashioned to assume every man wanted me. Noah finally spoke. He said he did not think every man wanted me. He said he thought I liked the attention, and it was hurting our marriage. He said it in a calm, plain way. No insult, no shouting. That calm made me feel exposed, like he was holding up a mirror without even trying. I leaned forward and smiled, like I was still in charge. I said Noah was twisting things. I said he was insecure and wanted to blame me for his own emptiness. I watched Talia's face. She looked uncertain for half a second, and I did not like that, so I pushed harder. I said Noah had been distant for years. I said he acted like a roommate. I said if I laughed with someone at work, Noah acted betrayed. I did not say that I had been hiding texts. I did not say I liked lying because it made me feel smarter. I said I was a loyal wife who wanted space. Derek asked if there was any proof of what I was claiming. He said it like a simple question, but it hit like a pin. I said the proof was my stress. I said if I felt trapped, that was proof. I said women did not need receipts to be believed. Ruth looked at Noah and asked if he was controlling my phone. Noah said he had never touched my phone. Ruth looked back at me and asked why I kept saying he was checking up then. I felt my cheeks heat. I said Noah checked up with his tone. I said he made the house feel cold. I said it was emotional control. Noah asked if we could not do this in front of the kids. I said the kids were fine. I said Gavin was too little to understand, and Mila was drawing. Mila stopped coloring for a second and looked at us. She asked why Dad did not smile anymore. Noah told her he was okay. I said Dad was just tired. The waiter came with food, and the moment should have cooled. It did not. Marie texted me under the table asking how it was going. I wrote that I was handling it. I felt proud of the words. Ruth asked me one last time if Evan was just a friend. I said yes, loudly. I said it in a way that demanded applause. Noah looked at me and asked if I could say that without laughing. I hated that he noticed my smile. I said he was being cruel. I said he was humiliating me at dinner. Talia tried to step in. She said we should calm down and eat. I thanked her like she was my witness. Then I turned it into a performance. I said I did not feel safe to speak in my own home. I said Noah was turning everyone against me. Ruth asked what Noah had done that was unsafe. I paused too long, so I said he punished me with silence. Noah nodded once and said he had been quiet because he did not want to argue. Ruth's face changed. She did not look angry. She looked disappointed, and that was worse. She told me I could not call calm behavior punishment just because it did not serve me. I said Ruth was choosing sides. Ruth said she was choosing truth. Derek told Noah he could take the kids to the car early if he wanted. Noah said he would wait until we finished eating. Even then, he stayed lawful and polite, like he was writing the script of himself. When dinner ended, I walked out first, pretending I was fine. In the parking lot, I told Noah he embarrassed me. Noah asked why I needed a crowd to fight him. I said I did not need a crowd. I needed fairness. He asked if fairness meant I could do anything, and he had to accept it. I said yes, basically, but I dressed it up. I said marriage meant trust, and trust meant I did not have to report my life. At home, Noah took the kids upstairs. I stayed in the kitchen, shaking with anger that felt like fear. A few minutes later, his phone buzzed on the counter. I saw a notification flash, something like a cloud message saying a file was uploaded. It disappeared fast. I told myself it was work. I told myself he was not clever enough to plan anything about me. I could not sit in that house. I grabbed my coat and drove to Talia's apartment. She let me in with a worried face. She asked what happened. I said Noah turned his parents against me. I said Ruth attacked me about Evan. I said I felt ganged up on. Talia asked if Evan was more than a friend. I laughed like she was silly. I said everyone was obsessed with cheating because it was an easy story. I said the real issue was that Noah wanted to own me. Talia said she did not like how my answers kept changing. I told her she was being judgmental. Talia offered tea. I said I did not need tea. I needed support. I said I was tired of being painted as a villain. Talia said she loved me, but she could not lie for me. I said I did not ask her to lie. I said I asked her to stand with me, and those were different things. When I left, my phone showed a message from Noah asking if I was coming home tonight. He wrote it with no anger. I did not answer right away. I sat in my car and stared at the screen, feeling the ground shift under my story. Then I told myself a final, comforting lie. If Noah was calm, it meant he had nothing real. It meant I was still winning. The next morning, I woke up on Talia's couch with my phone in my hand. The screen was dark, but I still stared at it like it owed me something. I had one message from Noah from late last night. He had asked if I was safe and if the kids should expect me for breakfast. I read it twice and felt annoyed, because it sounded gentle. I wanted him to sound guilty. Talia made coffee and asked if I planned to go home. I said I would, but on my terms. She asked what that meant. I said it meant Noah needed to stop acting like a victim. Talia asked if I could talk without calling him names. I said I was not calling him names, I was describing his behavior. On the drive back, I practiced my face in the rearview mirror. I made it soft, then hurt, then calm. I told myself I was not performing. I told myself I was protecting myself. When I walked in, the house smelled like toast. Noah was at the stove. Gavin was in his high chair. Mila was packing her backpack carefully. Noah asked if I slept okay. I said I barely slept because of the stress he caused. He asked if we could keep the morning quiet for the kids. I said I would if he stopped pushing. Mila looked up and asked why I was not home last night. Noah said I was with family. I said I needed space because Dad was being intense. Mila did not answer. She just zipped her bag and lined up her pencils like she was copying Noah's calm. Noah drove the kids to school and daycare, and I followed in my car because I did not want to sit next to him. At the school pickup line later that afternoon, everything looked normal from the outside. Parents waved, kids ran. Noah stood by the curb, steady, like he belonged there. That made me angry in a quiet way. I wanted him to look messy so people would ask what happened. Nobody asked. They just smiled at him. Noah asked if we could talk after pickup. I said we could talk when he was ready to trust me. He asked what trust looked like to me. I said it looked like him stopping his questions. He asked if stopping questions meant he had to accept anything. I said marriage meant acceptance, and he should know that. We had to stop at the supermarket on the way home. I took a basket and walked fast, like speed could prove I was fine. I picked items I liked, not items we needed, because I was still trying to feel powerful. Noah followed with Gavin in the cart seat. He did not comment. He did not correct me. That silence felt like judgment, even though he said nothing. At the checkout, the cashier scanned everything. I tapped my card like normal. The machine beeped and the screen flashed a decline. I tapped again. Decline again. People behind us shifted their weight. I felt heat rise up my neck. I said the machine must be broken. The cashier said it worked for the person before me. Noah asked if I wanted him to try. I said no, like it was an insult. Then Gavin started whining, and Mila looked at the gum display like she wanted to disappear into it. Noah calmly put his card in and paid. He did it without a speech. On the walk out, I told him he embarrassed me. He asked how he embarrassed me if I was the one who insisted on paying. I said he should have warned me if something changed. He said nothing changed, but he said he had moved some money to protect the bills while things were unstable. I asked what unstable meant. He said our situation. I told him he was controlling me with money. He said he was protecting the household. He said we could each have separate spending until things were clear. I said he was punishing me. He said he was creating structure so the kids were not affected. That word, structure, made me feel small. It sounded like something adults did when someone else acted like a teenager. I told myself he was being dramatic. I told myself he was trying to scare me into obedience. When we got home, I went straight to my phone. I posted a vague story on social media. I did not name Noah. I just wrote about feeling watched and limited and needing peace. Murray commented right away with a sad face and a line about women being trapped. I liked that. I felt validated in public, which was the only kind of comfort that worked fast. Noah did not react to the post. He made dinner. He helped Mila with homework. He bathed Gavin. He did not ask me what I posted. He did not even look at my phone. That lack of reaction made my post feel weaker, like a punch that hit air. Later, Evan texted me asking if I was okay. I told him Noah was being cold and financially weird. Evan said Noah sounded toxic. I said Noah was not toxic, just controlling. Evan said that was the same thing. I did not correct him. That night, after the kids were asleep, I stood on the stairwell landing and waited for Noah to come up. I wanted a talk where I could win. I wanted him to say sorry first. Noah walked up slowly, like he was tired in his bones. He asked what I wanted. I said I wanted him to stop treating me like I was doing something wrong. Noah asked if I was willing to set boundaries with Evan. I laughed, a quick small laugh that I meant to sound confident. I said Evan was not the problem. Noah asked why it was so hard to do one small thing that would help our marriage. I said because it would reward his jealousy. Noah looked down the hall toward the guest room, then back at me. He asked if I understood how public all of this had become. I said he was the one making it public by acting weird. He said I was the one sharing it online. I said I was allowed to share my feelings. He said feelings were not facts. I told him he was gaslighting me. He asked what I thought gaslighting meant. I said it meant making me doubt myself. He said he was not making me doubt myself. He was asking for clarity. I said clarity was just another word for control. His phone buzzed softly, and I heard an alarm label flash for half a second before he turned the screen away. It said, "Paper drop." I focused on it like it was a clue. I asked what that was. He said it was a reminder. I asked for what. He said for something personal. I stepped closer and told him he was acting secretive again. I said he was probably planning something to punish me. He said he was not planning punishment. He said he was planning peace. I told him peace sounded like a threat when he said it that way. He took a slow breath and looked at me like he was finally done trying. He said he would not argue in circles anymore. He said he would handle it properly, in the right way, and he would keep everything lawful and calm. Then he walked past me, and I heard the locked drawer click from downstairs like a final answer. I walked into the office like I was winning. That sounds silly now, but that morning I felt tall. I wore a bright blazer. I put on perfume like a shield. I told myself Noah's calm threat from last night was just another tactic. I told myself he could not do anything real because he was too quiet, too careful, too afraid to look mean. In the elevator, my phone showed a new message from Mari. She said my story post was getting support. She said I should keep it vague but strong. I smiled at that. I told myself public support was proof. I told myself if enough people believed me, then it became true. At my desk, I opened my email and tried to focus. I kept checking my phone anyway. Evan sent a short text asking if I slept okay. I said I was fine, and Noah was being weird again. Evan said Noah sounded controlling. I said Noah always tried to control the story, and I would not let him. Around mid-morning, Jordan from HR messaged me and asked if I could come down to the lobby area for a quick conversation. I asked why. Jordan said it was a front desk matter, and it would be faster in person. My stomach tightened, but I told myself it was about attendance sheets or some small policy. I walked to the elevator, heels clicking, head up. When I stepped into the office tower lobby, I saw a man in a suit near the security desk. He held a thin envelope and a clipboard. A security guard stood beside him, neutral and bored, like this happened every day. The man looked at me and asked if I was Euphemia Calder. I said yes. He asked me to confirm my address. I asked who he was and why he needed it. He said he was there to deliver legal documents and asked me to take them. I laughed, a short, sharp laugh because it felt unreal. Jordan came up behind me and asked if everything was okay. I said it was fine and this was some mistake. The man said my name again, calm. He said he had been instructed to serve me. He held out the envelope. I did not want to touch it. I looked around instead. A few co-workers were walking through the lobby with coffee cups. One of them slowed down when they saw my face. I hated that. I hated being watched when I did not choose it. The man said he could place it in my hand or leave it at my feet, but it would still count as delivered. I asked if my husband sent him. He said he could not discuss details, but he said the petitioner's name was on the first page. My hands moved before my pride could stop them. I took the envelope. Jordan asked if I wanted to step into the HR room for privacy. I said yes, because I needed a wall to push against. As we walked, the envelope felt heavy, like it had a voice. Inside the HR room, Jordan asked if I needed water. I said no. Jordan asked if I wanted a moment alone. I said no again, because being alone suddenly felt dangerous. I opened the envelope. The first page had our names. Noah's name was there in black and white. The words divorce petition sat on the page like a cold object. Under it was a section about temporary orders. I read it twice, then again, because my brain kept refusing it. The temporary orders were clear. They said we would follow a schedule for the kids starting today. They said where Mila and Gavin would sleep on certain nights. They said exchange times. They said we would communicate only about the children and practical matters, and we would keep it respectful. They said neither of us could move money around or make big changes to accounts while things were pending. They said there were rules, and they were already active. I told Jordan this was insane. Jordan asked if I felt unsafe. I said Noah was harassing me. Jordan looked at the papers and said this was not harassment, it was lawful service. Jordan said HR could not intervene in personal legal matters, but since it happened in the lobby, they had to note the disruption and ensure I was okay to work. I felt my throat tighten. I tried to make my voice sound calm. I said Noah was doing this to punish me because I had friends. I said he was trying to control my money and my children. Jordan asked if there was anything in writing that supported my claim. I held up my phone like it was proof. Jordan asked what the phone showed. I realized my posts were feelings, not facts. I flipped deeper into the packet, hunting for something I could attack. Then I saw the list. Not a dramatic story, just a plain list of exhibits. Screenshots of messages, dates and times, notes about my claimed work hours compared to check-in logs. A record of my text telling Noah I was still at the office, while a tagged photo put me at a bar. A line about repeated public posts where I framed him as controlling. A line about financial concerns and recent spending patterns. There was even a short summary of the rooftop bar moment, not written like a fight, written like an incident with witnesses. It mentioned Mary's video. It mentioned the words I used. It mentioned that Noah did not argue and left, and that I stayed and posted again. I stared at the pages until my eyes burned. I wanted to say he had stalked me, but the proof was public or tied to normal records. I wanted to say he trapped me, but the schedule looked like stability, not revenge. I wanted to say he was cruel, but the language was clean, professional, and careful. My phone vibrated. It was Ruth. She wrote that she had the kids' overnight bag ready, and she would follow the schedule exactly. She wrote that transitions needed to be calm for Mila and Gavin. She wrote that she would not argue with me about it. I called Talia. She did not answer. I called Mari. Mari answered and asked what was wrong. I told her Noah served me at my office. Mari started talking fast and said I should post about it right now. I said I could not, because if I posted, it would look like retaliation. Mari asked how I knew that. I did not answer. Jordan asked if I needed to go home. I said no, because if I left, it would look like I lost. Jordan said I looked pale and should sit down. I sat down, still holding the packet like it might bite. Through the HR room window, I could see the lobby. People moved in and out, normal and busy. Then I saw Noah. He stood near the entrance, not inside the HR room, not causing a scene. He had 2 small coats in his hand. Mila's coat was folded neatly. Gavin's coat hung over his arm. He looked straight ahead, calm, like he was waiting for a bus. Mila stood beside him with her backpack on. Gavin leaned into his leg, sleepy. Noah did not wave. He did not glare. He simply waited, like the schedule had already placed him there. I looked back down at the papers and saw the start date again. It was today.